Bro, I'm 18 and you're 31. That is some creepy behavior. Oh, the clown pocket pics weren't creepy. That's the part we're gonna call out. Okay, well.
I'm confused. I'm confused right now, G.
Hello, friends. Welcome back to ReddX Trace Amounts of Science. We're back into r/NiceGuys today. Let me tell you something. It's been a long time since I sunk my teeth into it. You'd think there would be just a boatload of new content, but it's a lot of recycled posts. So we'll cherry pick through. We'll find some good ones. Don't you worry. Everything's going to be normal and fine. Thanks for being here. Let's go ahead and get on into this thing. Our first post says, not really any context to add to this, but this was unprompted from someone that I've never really talked to, except for one time. Yeah, well, it's probably going to get really weird. One time and last time. Let me be perfectly clear. You're not on my level, and deep down, you already know it. See, coming out with a bit of the old negging. Has it ever worked in the past? Do you think it's going to work right now? Sure, you're cute. Society has rewarded you for that your whole life. People have gassed you up, given you passes for your bad behavior, and told you that your looks are enough. But here's the cold, hard truth that you don't want to hear. Kind of tapping into Dale Gribble voice there.
Hey, look at me. Yeah, look at me.
The clock is ticking for you, sweetheart. And you're nowhere near as valuable as you think you are. Dude, what the hell are you even talking about right now? That is such a weird thing to come out and say to another human being. Just unprompted. You're hot, so automatically I'm going to ascribe these thoughts to you. Have you ever thought that maybe that's just a you problem? That I don't know what the hell you're even talking about? You say that she's not on your level, but then you provide no examples except that, yeah, she's apparently hot. I'm not gonna give you a pass for your bad behavior. Okay, well then I just won't hang around you. How about that? And he's like, no, please come back. Anyway, as a man, I'm playing the long game. While you're out here coasting on fleeting beauty and Instagram filters, I'm building something real. My value only increases with time. I can focus on my career, stack cash, and stay in shape. At 50, I can pull up in my sports car and date women half my age if I want. By then you'll be slathering on anti-aging creams and wondering why men don't worship you like they used to. Yeah, I'm sure it's all gonna happen for you, buddy. At 50, you just give it another decade or so of whining on the internet and doing nothing with your life, and I'm sure all these things will drop into your lap. If that's really the goal for your life, you're gonna need to do a lot more than this, okay? I don't even think it's that great a goal, but if that's what you've decided for yourself, then please, put your back into it, alright? Nobody's falling for the old reverse psychology. Oh, seeing you're gonna be old and shriveled up, you should get with me while you can.
I'm using reverse psychology on him.
I can tell you're trying to use reverse psychology on me.
That proves he doesn't know.
No, I really don't think that I will. That sounds horrible to me. Anyway, decent post, good way to see us back in. Let's continue on, shall we? Nice guy virtue claim. You're rejecting me because I'm short and almost double your age, even though I'm a nice guy? I mean, if you were a decent human being, maybe she would give you the time of day. Maybe she's just not that into you. But not being able to take a no, that's the worst look of all, my dude. And it is a throwaway account, so I don't know what to think about that. Redditor for 10 hours, 1 karma. Sort of sus. I'm an incel and I don't hate women. She says, okay, cool. Okay, so you understand that not all incels hate women. And she says, I literally do not care. That is the least interesting topic of conversation to me. Please see yourself out. He says, okay, WTF does ISTP mean? And she says, it's a personality type. Oh no, it's another Myers-Briggs thing. We did a whole stream on the Spyro Beard situation. It's kind of entertaining, honestly. I should pick that back up. Anyway, he says, it sounds like woke nonsense. And she says, bruh, skull emoji. There's much more woke nonsense that we could pick on. You leave Myers-Briggs alone. He's a good boy. He says, send pics of your clam. Send pics of your clown pocket.
Disgusting pervert. That's absolutely unacceptable.
And she says, yeah, hell no. And he said, it's my birthday, and no one showed up, and I didn't get any presents, so please. Oh my God. The pity clown pocket shots? No, I don't think that's a good way to go, man. Happy birthday. How old are you now? That's what I want to know. OP asks, are you trolling? And he said, no, that is below me. And she says, bruh. And he said, why won't you send any pictures, please? It is my birthday, and I don't have any presents.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Oh man, that sounds rough. That sounds really rough. I feel super bad for you. How about I link you to websites where you can find as much of that as you want? Would that be okay? Again, OP just says, bruh. And he says, do you have anything else to say other than bruh? Bruh, 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 bruh. And she says, not really. Not to someone like you, no. Well, you know your audience. I like that a lot. He says, someone like you? Also, why are you 18 years old posting on incel tears? Don't you have homework to complete? And he said, let me guess, you're playing Phasmophobia right now. Why is it Phasmophobia? Why isn't it Dead by Daylight? Probably just like digging through the subreddits that you post in. It's kind of weird. And she calls him out on it and says, wow, so smart looking at my posts. I wonder how you figured that out. Sigh. You just rejecting me because I'm 5'8", even though I'm a nice guy. Isn't that like average height? Why are you not okay being average? You'll need to offer something a little more than nice, however. OP says, 1, because I have a boyfriend. 2, because you asked for clam pics out of nowhere. 3, you're creepy AF. How old even are you? And he says, I turned 31 today. Oh, man.
Grow the f up. You're not children anymore.
That's a sad story. You still out here doing this stuff? You've had at least a good 15, 16 years to get this side of yourself figured out, but you just can't do it because it's easier to interact online. I can be as weird as I want online without being judged by a room full of people. Well, maybe you need to be judged by a room full of people. Maybe it might be good for you to learn to read the social contract a little bit. OP just says, bro, I'm 18 and you're 31. That is some creepy behavior. Oh, the clown pocket pics weren't creepy? That's the part we're going to call out. Okay, well.
I'm confused. I'm confused right now, G.
I thought it was well established by now, but I guess we're learning new things. He said, 1, you would leave your boyfriend if I was a Chad. 2, you should send as reparations for treatment of sub-5s. 3, only because I'm 5'8". I think the being under 5, the sub-5, that's creepier than the 5'8". Like, to be below the average on the attractiveness scale, that's a scary thought, isn't it? But you don't get reparations for it. Nobody gets any reparations for anything, okay? Free stuff is not what we do. You want it? You earn it. You go on the Google and you say, booby pics for my birthday, and there you go. Some chick will wish you a happy birthday. You don't have to be taller than 5'8" to keep the fantasy alive. I don't prescribe this for most people, but he's a special case. I really just don't want him interacting with anyone is what it is. He says, R. Kelly did worse, but he's tall and a basketball player, so no one cares. Is he a basketball player? I thought you just made R&B slow jams to pee on your girl, too. OP says, I would never leave my boyfriend. He's perfect, and I would also not send any sort of those types of pictures to anyone. And also, height literally doesn't matter. I dated a guy that was super short, You just cry because you're lonely as fuck, and you're lonely because you're a friggin' pervert, creeping on an 18-year-old as a 31-year-old adult. Go get some psychological help. At the very least. He might be beyond such things. It's hard to teach an old dog new tricks and that. But, fingers crossed, you know? Fingers crossed real hard. He says, you dated a guy that was super short? Oh, I guess Black Pill destroyed because he got to go on a date. And she says, I never had an issue with his height, but with him as a person, because he was a maltreater. We dated for 1.5 years, so it wasn't just a date. And he says, how was he a maltreater? She says, yelling, saying that he'd end himself if I didn't do what he wanted me to, threatening with everything, trying to get unwantedly physical with me, etc. And he said, also, how do you date someone for 1.5 years? And she says, I don't understand what you mean by that question. Well, it's a bit of the old victim blaming. You see, he was a bad guy. Should have gotten away sooner and gotten with me. Then I would have fixed all your problems. The line of logic is just so stupid and flimsy, and I love to see it. It tickles me pink, tickles me purple. How do you date someone for 1.5 years? That isn't a date, it's a relationship. And she says, yeah, that's what dating someone means. I mean, you could be dating, but not mutually exclusive, you know? I don't participate in all the pan polyamory such. I'm a dinosaur, but I know what dating is. If you really want to be mutually exclusive, you have to ask a gal to go steady with you. Go down to the malt shop for a phosphorus and such. He says, no, dating's when you go out a few times to meet someone that you may be romantically interested in. And she says, yeah, that's not how it works, but whatever. I'm really not going to try and explain the intricacies to you, okay? Experience it for yourself, which I know you won't, or shut up. He's not going to shut up quite yet, though. He says, do you have amnesia or something? And she sends skull emojis, because, bro, why are you still talking? That's why you date someone for 1.5 years. Anyway, how tall is your current boyfriend? He's trying to bring it back around, open the door back up.
That don't work. You're done.
Just stop. Just stop. Are you trying to be funny? Are you trying to make a reference to an Adam Sandler movie entitled 50 First Dates? Because that's a pretty good movie. But we're not here to talk about that. I want to talk about your boyfriend and all the ways I can be jealous of him. If the boyfriend's taller than 5'8", this guy's gonna freak out. Maybe it's best that she decides not to answer. OP says, why would I give you information about him? And he said, I think it's all coming together. The short guy you dated was toxic and a maltreater, but your new 6-foot boyfriend's a perfect angel who does nothing wrong. Yeah, it was just the height that was making him do those things. How can you not realize this? Nice guys are so funny, dude. I never get bored. OP ends with, yes, he's amazing. He does sometimes do stuff wrong, but when I tell him, he apologizes and never does it again. Height will never be the issue. Your attitude is. And again, you're 31, I'm 18. Why are you even trying with me? Well, because it's online. Basically just ease of access. Any real life woman, you'd have to go outside, you know, and that's fraught with danger. People might see him and be like, oh, what a ugly, short, deformed troll. Really, that's the monologue that's playing in his head. Everybody else sees him and be like, huh, normal dude. Just a bunch of normal dudes walking around. I don't know what you want. All the anger, hate, vitriol you feel, all that stuff's on the inside. You could get rid of it at any time, but you choose not to. And I find that fascinating. But okay, keep being mad at the world. I'm glad that this is how it makes sense to you. It's also a little bit depressing too, but I can't do anything about that. You just laugh. You laugh and you move on. So we're doing that. Nice guy virtue claim. I'm just a different caliber of man. Yes, I'm more manly than all of the other men. Because he's the most rotund, you see. That's what he thinks caliber means. His internal diameter is large, I can tell you that much. So let's see what he has to say.
Okie doke. I've been trying for too long, but that's okay. You can just message me when you decide you're free.
Already, just a bit of the old self-deprecation. That's really gonna hook her in, isn't it? I guess OP decided she wasn't free anytime soon, so he decides to take another swing.
I feel like I'm more attractive than you realize. Meeting in girls in person is so much easier than having to prove myself against a whole bunch of freaking nerds wanting to pull off to you. I'm just a different caliber of man.
Yes, come to my house first and stand in the shipping container, and then I'll totally prove why you should be here. Like, hold on, whoa, back it up, buddy. We're putting the cart before the horse a little bit, aren't we? What the hell's going on here? And then he sent some pictures, I think, and he said,
I'm a very normal, healthy, real person. You either want me or you don't. It's a yes or no thing.
And still, she decides not to give him a response, which, honestly, well advised. That's what I'll say. I'm quite relieved. The quickest way to make you believe that you're not normal, healthy, or real is to assure me that you are. Maybe it's just my natural inborn skepticism. Part of me wants OP to just say no and really see him spiral out of control, but I know that's not the nice thing to do. We're not here to farm content. We're not giving any false hope to weirdos on the internet. He continues on and says,
I feel like you have no interest in meeting me.
Wow, how'd you pick that up?
You aren't even that hot, though. That's why I'm tripping. Like, I'm just looking for a friend. And I feel like I'm talking to a dumbass that thinks I just want her sliz. No, I'm not attracted to you in a costume. That's hot for, like, an autistic person, like my cousin Paul.
That's a very specific example you've given me. Thank you. Maybe me and your cousin Paul can kick it sometime.
I wanted to be friends with you, but you want to try and cross lines.
Dude, nobody has said anything to you at all. All of the line crossing has been in your own head. You're reading way too much into this thing, getting all caught up in your feelings about somebody who really doesn't even know or care that you exist. You should have stopped after the first swing. But he's like, no, 4, 5, 6. The Empire's like, get him the fuck out of here. He's swinging at everything that moves. So yeah, you struck out. Maybe it's time to retire at a certain point. Put yourself out of your misery if you take me. But I don't know, it's your life. You pick what comes next. Probably another post, so let's see it. The nice guy virtue claim in our next post is, you cannot respect a man of high status. I don't know if I'm going to do that voice for the whole thing, but it could be fun. Let's see. Blocking trash, as if I was going to message you again. Yeah, this is the last one, totally for reals. You just have to suck up all the attention in the room and disrespect me like a traitorous whore. Yeah, I'm the one that's supposed to suck up all the attention in the room. What's up with that? You cannot respect a man of high status. You project your fear and lack the respect to behave around me. Now, I don't know the context of any of this, but to me, it's sounding a heck of a lot like you failed a shit test.
I can smell the failure.
You humiliate yourself by blocking me. I didn't even realize until now. Never show insolence to me in your life, selfish trash. God, he called me trash like 5 times already. It must be true. It gets more true every time he says it. Using your neuroses to misbehave. You can't hold the antisocial feminism back for a second and be an adult, can you? You've been trained to antagonize and undermine men. misfortune will fall upon you. Misfortune will fall upon you. Oh man, maybe that's a bit more fitting than I ever thought. I'm sort of happy with this choice of voice. Trained to antagonize and undermine men. Maybe you've not been trained to just let women feel like they're getting what they want while you do the thing that you like to do. Never block me in your life, disrespectful traitor. I curse you. I love it, dude. He's casting curses online. That's one of my favorite things. You are incapable of having adult relations. You fail to rise to the challenge and disrespect it all as your life passes you by. Yes, not like this guy who's making the most of his life by writing walls of text to a woman who is clearly just wants nothing to do with him anymore. You have no morals at all, just disrespecting men and sucking them down to your level instead of benefiting. Oh yes, what benefit could you possibly offer me? A stinky, undersized pork sword. That's about it. No thanks, I think I'm good. Never undermine me in your life! Never belittle me with your inferiority complex. It really is like looking into a mirror, isn't it? Show respect, trash! Behave with some etiquette. It will fall upon your head, dumb animal! Jesus. Yes, beast of burden, carry my children!
You think you can threaten me? I have the instrument to make more!
You'll never be happy if you don't. You'll forever be a dumb animal. That's wild. Respect men! Feminist trash! Oh, you called me trash like 8 more times. It gets more true every single time.
You're just yellow trash.
Huh? Modern women will be corrected. How? According to who? You're gonna do it? Bro, you can't even pull yourself together. What? Nobody's going to respect anything that you have to say, because you haven't put the work in. You're not a person of any worth as judged by society by a whole. I'm sorry to be the one to deliver this news to you. Mark my words, you will no longer stigmatize strong men with your anti-social radicalism. Death upon you for blocking me! Wow, we've gone from curses to just absolute flat-out mostly dead.
There's a big difference between mostly dead and all dead.
The gods will destroy you! God's just like,
huh? Oh, yeah, fine.
Never block a man again, ghosting trash, weak scum. You are blocked. Remember who is in charge, feminist scum. Death upon you, subhuman. You have no decorum or respect for men. You will die alone and cursed. Blocked. Yeah, I'm sure he really felt like he won after he sent it. That's the saddest part of all. She tried to get away from me, but I showed her what for. Anybody who's cheering for that sentence is not a person that I want to be involved with, personally. If you thought the rant itself was rich, the story behind it all, posted by OP in the comments, she matched with this guy from another country in a language learning app. Dude, Duolingo is looking in your windows, I'm telling you. Pretty fast, he opened up to be a BDSM photographer, and he sent unwanted sausage selfies while also trying to push her into making adult videos and pics with him. In his country, of course. She declined and blocked him. Now, after over a week, she got this message. That is really terrifying. A dom with this type of man-baby mindset is just... That's the worst thing that I could possibly imagine. You're going to end somebody's life at some point because you're not responsible. You don't have control over yourself, obviously. How can you possibly maintain control over another human? Whatever. He's not highly regarded in his local community, so that's why he's poaching for people from other countries, trying to import them and steal their passports, and yeah, it's not gonna go well, tell you that much. Anyway, I can't think much more about it. I'd tell that guy to die mad, but I know he will. And we'll just move on to our next post. That's the best way you can do, is just keep moving. Our next post seems to be a r/Tinder crossover into NiceGuys. Have you checked out our r/Tinder videos? We got a lot of them. They're pretty good. Anyway, I think this one is mostly sad. The nice guy virtue claim is, women don't like the kind gentleman anymore. Oh, it's so sad. You've been so kind and such a gentleman. Surely you deserve something for it. That's the reason that you're kind and a gentleman, isn't it?
Look at this distinguished gentleman. Look at the way he is sitting. Yes, very distinguished.
This year I really want to find my soulmate and get off these apps. You're not gonna find her on the app, dude. You gotta go out and make a human connection, okay? That's more genuine than any... Like, if you met a hot chick on the app, and then you met somebody not quite as hot in real life, you go for the real life one. You formed a genuine connection already. Like, online dating generally is pretty much a cesspool, but apps are like the shallowest end of that cesspool, you know? He continues, it's hard because I find dating these days is complicated and women clearly don't like the kind gentleman anymore. Oh, woe is me. I've been such a kind gentleman, you guys. How many women have I swiped upon? I even super liked her. Whatever, she's ugly anyway. You can just see the gears turning, especially when you've been doing this as long as I have. You know where it's all leading. I've mapped your neural network. Now that's good science. Anyway, moving on to the next post.
Nice guy virtue claim. I just want to prove to you that I'm not a bad guy.
Yeah, that's what most good guys say, that they're not bad guys, right? That makes perfect sense.
I hate being seen as a bad guy. You make me happy. You're such a beautiful girl. I really hope we can become good friends.
OP just says, thanks. And he says,
do you think we could talk more?
No, please. She says, maybe a bit more, but I'm not looking for any more friends at the moment, to be honest. Smiley face.
I know what you mean, but I just want to prove to you that I'm not a bad guy. You're really lovely, and I feel like we could have some things in common.
It's right. I like poopies and hiking and playing volleyball.
You gotta be kidding me. Everything you just said is my favorite thing to do every day.
We might not have these things in common, but I will force us to have them in common. I'll start to like the things that you like just because you like them. What a deal. She just says, thanks. And then a little bit later he says, hey. Next day, hi. Next day, oh, you're ignoring me. And she says, sorry, but I've just been really busy and wasn't wanting to chat, but hi. You're very annoying. Hello, now go away.
He says, does that mean you don't want to chat now?
And she says, not right now. I don't know when. I don't really have anything to chat about.
And he says, you could just let me do the talking then.
Yeah, go ahead. Talk to your heart's content. I don't give a shit.
Hi. Hello?
Days later.
Hey, am I talking to myself? Ha ha ha. Wow, you really don't want to talk to me. Hey. Hi. Hi. Hey. Hey, how's you?
Dude, he's kept this up for months at this point. That's terrifying.
So you're just gonna ignore me? Ha ha ha. Question mark? Hey, I want us to speak, please.
Yeah, how about no? No to all of that. Catch a clue. Finally, she does respond and says, look, I respond to be polite, but I'm sorry I don't want to chat. If you message me, I might not always respond in the future. I get lots of messages from people wanting to chat, and it's not fair to everyone if I keep responding, but don't want to be friends, so I probably should just stop. Smiley face. I refer you to my previous message. And he says, what do you mean? And she says, I mean what I said. I resent my previous message before you started a many-month-long one-sided conversation. Who? Or is that like, how are you? H-U? Maybe it's huh. This fella's really lost in the sauce. It's kind of sad after a certain point, isn't it? OP says, I sent this message months ago before you started sending me loads of messages over the course of months, so I'm showing you the message again, since you obviously didn't get it the first time. I really don't know how much clearer I can be, and I don't know what you're not understanding. He understands. He just thinks that he can break the defenses down if I just stick around long enough. Let me tell you something, son. It's important that you realize when it's time to pack it in. And that time is about right now.
He says, I simply can't understand why we can't speak. We don't have to be friends, you've made that clear, but speaking and chatting to people is a nice thing. You seem to show it on your live streams, but off it you don't.
Oh, that's right. I'm fucking beholden to you because I did a live stream one time. No, I owe you nothing, unless I promised it on the live stream. And then we'll totally deliver. We've done charity videos. I ate some chicken out of the trash. There's lots of fun on the Sunday Funday live streams. Come on through if you find the time. But yeah, if I'm off live stream and I don't feel like chatting, then I won't. It's just that easy. OP says, exactly. I do on live streams, but off it, I have boundaries. I literally just told you all of this months ago. Just accept it and move on. I don't want to chat with you. It's really that simple. Respect my boundaries, please. I don't know what part of me not responding since before August made you think, yeah, if I just keep messaging, eventually she'll give in and want to chat. And just because you don't understand it doesn't mean you still respect my boundaries, especially when I've told you over and over. Well, you've put far too much effort into telling him to fuck off. But I guess that's what happens when he is this thick-headed. The hey hi would have continued for months. Months. Maybe years. This is the sort of fellow with a lot of free time, if you know what I mean.
Are you delusional? Do you suffer from a mental illness?
He says, wow, I actually thought you was the same as you are on live. I guess I was wrong. I haven't even done anything. But sure, you do you, I'll just block you, 'cause you're not worth my energy.
Oh, that's right. Remember, I was the one that blocked you. It's ultra important that you remember that. I thought you were who you present yourself as on the internet, but obviously you have boundaries. You won't just let people invade your life because they sent you a super chat. How dare you? Hey, what's your Twitch, though? I'm trying to get back into it. I'm wiffle waffling, but do follow me. Twitch.tv/DaytonDoes. Thanks so much. And with that final cheap plug out of the way, I will bid you adieu, friends. Thank you so much for watching. Sign up on the Patreon or the YouTube memberships if you'd like to support us month to month. I'd appreciate that. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video around. You know, them things. We also got merch over on the fourth wall. Amazon affiliate link in the description. Maybe in the comments if I'm feeling cheeky. Doesn't always happen. Of course, you don't have to participate in any of those things, but I do want to remind you, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely deserve it, and I shall see you in the next one. So until then, bye-bye.
Nani baka, nani baka, nani baka, nani baka, nani baka.